Hey guys, it's the Crypto Cowboy. It's about 1 o'clock here Chicago time on August 22nd, and let's take a look at the markets. I haven't done a video yet this week, so let's take a look and see what happened. All right, so we are still looking at Bitcoin being in a correction. Let's go on the daily chart and just start from there. And as you guys know, we monitor since the end of December 2018 this wave count here going as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with another alternate that says that this, I'm going to put a marker, that this is a wave 4. I'm sorry, that this is a wave 4 and then that this is a wave 3. So these are my alternates. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete 1. We are pulled back in a wave 2. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So just to have that clear, I know a bunch of people that join here already know these counts, but for whoever is new, just to kind of recap that. And if I go back to this count as well, I think that's where I have that specified. So this is a 3, 4, and this is a 1. So you guys can see kind of how we're looking at this being a wave 4. So let's go back to this one, and we are looking this as being a double combo. And again, you know, the internals here don't matter a whole lot. I mean, not the internals, but the overall count on the correction, right? This W, for example, can very easily be, I'm gonna go get some more markers here. This W can very simple be down here, okay? And then this can be a connector X, and we are doing a Y wave, okay? So being that it is a WX and then a longer Y in an ABC, or being that this is a WX and a Y in a correction, so in a double zigzag, all these scenarios are kind of pointing lower towards the completion of this leg. Okay, same thing if I go back here as a wave 4, I have as a triple combo, right? So a triple zigzag where you have W connector X, Y connector X, and then Z, ABC. So go back to this one. I'm going to delete this up and then just go back and look at the internals. So the idea is that basically after the resumal of this second wave or the resumal of this fourth wave, the next move should be a move up, either in a wave 5 of 1 or how do I do that? Let me go back and kind of get rid of my cursor. Or as a wave 2 finished, and then we're starting a move higher into this third wave going up. Okay, so let's go back and delete this, and I want to go back and look inside the structure, because if this is indeed a wave C, then we need to have a 5-wave move inside it. And for right now, we have a very small wave 1, pull back into 3, a larger wave 4, and we're looking at the development of this wave 5. Now this fifth wave here, it doesn't have to necessarily come all the way down here to 7,500 or 7,600. It would be just enough to dip below the bottom of this A wave here. So if you can go and make a new low below, let's say, 9,080, we can consider that wave done, and this 5 can move much higher, like above here, 8,700 or something, and then we can start looking at the other at the next move. So anyway, let's look here and see how this looks on a smaller time frame. So this is a daily. Let's go and look at the 6-hour chart. So we are looking to make a new low below this 9,500, and as long as we stay, especially on this wave count, because what I have here is I subdivide this wave 5 green into a 5-wave move. So if it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is just the first wave, wave 1, then we need a 5-wave structure inside it. So for right now, we only have a 1, 2, 3, and I think we're doing a flat in 4 followed by a drop in 5. Could be wrong, but this is kind of what I see right now. So if you look at the internals here, you have a wave 1, you have wave 2, and then you have a longer wave 3, here, and then this is a flat because you have a 3-wave move up in A, 3-wave move down in B to a new low. And let me just do this analysis, just B versus A. So you can see how we tapped exactly 127, which is the ideal extension for a B wave flat compared to A, 127.2. And now we're pulling back into this wave C. So if this wants to go, and I can do also an analysis here between C versus, I'm going to do a C versus B. Here we go. And then you have, let me just put it out of the way right there like that. Okay. And then you can see how you have some overlapping fibs here, right? You have a 38%. This would be like just your standard flat here, 100%. You would have 100% of C versus A, so these two would be equal. So it would be like a, it would be like a running flat, right? You would have this up here, and then coming back down to the origin of wave A. But it could also be an extended flat if we're going up higher. So you can go A, down in B, and then up in C in 5 waves towards 127, towards 10,325. Anything higher than that would start to have me worried. You can also see that I have a 4 versus 3 here, right? So this wave 4 in blue. The ideal pullback for that one, it's about 10,232 on the pullback. So I will allow it to go a little bit higher, possibly to 10,350, but anything higher than that, I'm going to start to be worried that this is not a wave 4 anymore and something else is going on, and I have to be aware of that. Now, it's not invalid unless we pass the origin of wave 2, the end of wave 1 here, which is 10,578. Then this wave 4 will become invalid because we're going to enter the territory of wave 2. So that is not good. So let's see what happens here. I still expect to resume lower. And then if this is indeed a wave 1, then we should pull back in a wave 2, followed by a 3, 4, and 5. And then there is another interpretation here where instead of this being a wave 1, we can have this, and I'm going to clean some of the fibs here. Just give me a second. It annoys me when it's when I have crowded charts. So I'm just going to leave the 127 here, just for giggles, and then the 382. So these are 2 levels that I'm actually watching: 4v3 and then C versus B. All right. Okay, yeah. So I was saying that there is another interpretation of this move down because this can also be. I'm going to save this. This can also be a wave A. So if this is a triple combo, or if this is just another double where this is W, X, and Y, we still need a zigzag here. So just by looking at this thing, you need to have a 3-wave move. You need to have an A, B, C down. So what if this is the end of A, instead of this being a 1, and then you pull back in B? So no matter what, I guess the implications are the same, because if this is an A or a 1, we're still going to get a pullback either in a 2-wave, in the second wave, or in a B wave. So the idea remains like that, right? If this ends up being a wave 1, a wave A, then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we need a 5-wave structure in here. So we're still waiting for a little bit of a roll over before we pull back in B. All right, so that's on the triple combo scenario. And again, on this one, for example, if it's a wave 4 compared with wave 2, 161.8 relationship between these 2 waves. Basically, this wave 4 extends 161 multiple of this wave 2, and then that would come in at about September 10. I kept seeing this. Dates out here into the future. So even at 200% is fine. Anything longer than that, and things start to get tricky. So, the correction on Bitcoin, it's starting to run towards the end. So maybe another, month or so of corrective price action before we have to embark in the next bullish leg up, being the 5th wave, or being the start of a new bull trend in the 3rd wave. So, okay, that's this. The other thing I've had was this 1-2-1-2, and I'm even kind of not ashamed to show you this, but I don't think this is what's going on. It wouldn't be funny if it would be, right? And the market just laugh into my face and say, no, it's going to be a 1-2, 1-2, and we're going to rally up aggressively. So that's why I haven't deleted this count and I haven't, dismissed it. So basically, and I think you guys know that we monitored this, with the wave 2. We were trying to say, okay, maybe it's going to stop around these levels, and then we want to see the reactions and see if we can start moving up actually into this third wave. But the market pulled way back. So, and the thing is, I don't like this Y wave, right? It's way too long compared with this wave W. Usually you're not supposed to pass the 161.8 relationship between W and Y. I don't even know what this is here, but let me just check of it. So we passed it at about 10,200. So we've come almost at 26 to 61.8. But I'm not going to dismiss it. So because it's not illegal. So you can have a W zigzag ABC, then this would be an answer to that triangle in X, and then you have this wave Y here, where you have another, maybe an A, B, and then this is a C leg down. So that would be a 1-2, 1-2, but for that we would need to have an extremely third wave move up price action, and it doesn't look like that, because here is why. Now you need to have another 1-2 here, and this is not a wave 1, and that's why, as I said, I'm kind of ashamed to show you this, because the wave count just doesn't match. This is not a wave 1. There's no 5-wave move impulse here, and then even if it was, then you would pull back in a second wave. That means that you need to have a third of a third of a third, which basically says you're going parabolic. Okay, so this, if I can do kind of something like that, we'll look at it again in the future, but I don't think this works. Okay, so that's why we need to correct a little bit more, and then we can embark once we see a 5-wave move from the lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we pull back, and then we start going up higher. Okay, so that's on this. I'm going to save this up, and then the other thing I wanted to show you a little bit was let's quickly look at this count, right? You guys remember this flat scenario? Same thing, right? And we were looking at this as being a third wave up, right? A pullback in a flat in 4, and now the beginning of a wave 5. So you can see clearly when the markets don't respond to what you're thinking, even though you can keep the count alive just on a separate sheet, just so you can kind of learn and understand, what to do when stuff doesn't pan out the way you want it. Then okay, this is what I thought it was going to happen. It didn't, and this is the reason why, because the correction is not over, right? So it would have been a nice idea to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into a wave 5, but the market came down. So that's just an analysis on past wave counts. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was the triangle, right? If this can still be a triangle, if it's a wave A, you got a 3-wave move in A, 3-wave move up in B, a little funky 3-wave move up in C in a WXY, right here. And then maybe we're doing this wave D again in a double zigzag, where you go A, B, and then C, and then you go A, B, C, and then you finish up this wave D. So this would be the triangle count, and then followed by a move down in E, and then this would be the end of a wave 4. And you can see, the relation here, it's nice because you have a 618 pullback of C versus A, which is the ideal. And then if we were to go back up here, you would need to go to 11,460 for a 618 for a wave D. So, I'm monitoring this and just kind of, look at it. Obviously, if we come below this wave A, right, then we're going back to that double combo or triple combo, and this triangle wave gets invalidated. So the other one, another thing I wanted to show, I wanted to just kind of, I always want you to keep an eye on the candles as well, and just pull up a couple of week charts or a weekly chart or a day chart, and just kind of look at the story. And if you guys go back and watch one of my YouTube videos from the beginning, I was talking a lot about this move up here and kind of what prepared us for the strong move, bullish move up here, because of the size of these candles and the low volatility. Was bound for a big expansion into volatility and obviously into the price. So I think something similar is happening up here. We've spent 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th candle. So each candle is 2 weeks. So it's about 8 weeks. This is the 9th week of sideways corrective price action. And I'm really curious how this is going to... If this is a bull flag, then I'm looking for a break of this upper trend line here. And if we're getting a signal here, then we know we're about to shoot up higher. But the market can still pull back a little bit more, right? So if this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is a wave 3, and now we're doing this 4th wave, and we can come a little bit lower and then go back up higher. So the idea is the same like in the other ones, but just kind of look at the candles, what's going on up here, and maybe we'll get something bullish like this, so we can get some confirmation. Or if it's bearish, then we got to watch for the follow through. And I guess if I go on a weekly chart, for the candles, you can see like it's a bunch of nonsense up here. You got a bullish engulfing here, no follow through. You got this rejection here, this inverted kind of hammer, whatever this is, star, and no follow through right away. So it's the market. It's basically consolidating here. So that's it. 16-minute video. I'll talk to you guys. I'll put this up on YouTube. If you guys like this content, and just give me some thumbs up, and leave some comments. Come and join us into our Telegram room. We got cryptos, we got forex, we got commodities, but we're mostly active into the crypto market and doing a bunch of Elliott wave analysis. We got great members, and they post charts and comments and questions, and it's all cool. So I'll talk to you guys later on the next video. Bye.